T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Hey y'all, welcome to the SmackDown and AEW Rampage after show with Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is Stephanie Hardy, host and creator of the Hardy Wrestling Podcast and voice of the Belladonna division here in here in Gaston, Alabama. But I am not alone. I am here with our editor-in-chief and all-around amazing boss lady, Driune Santana. How are you?
I'm good. Like I stated, told you earlier, I'm much better than what I was last week. Last week, y'all, I didn't even think I was gonna make it over here. But I mean, hey, we pushed through. We're gonna push through again this week as we talk about things that went down on SmackDown as well as Rampage. So I'm excited.
Yes, and I'm so excited to be doing this with you. And you just look so comfy over there with your blanket on, and you just look so comfy. And it's a vibe.
It's Friday night. You're supposed to be comfortable. We inside. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, why not get comfortable? We're inviting you inside of our homes, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So get comfortable. Just don't put your feet on my table, and we straight. Don't go in my refrigerator. We got water. We need water. Don't get too comfortable now.
Yes, most definitely. We welcome you into our homes and our hearts as we talk about everything that happened tonight in the world of professional wrestling. And of course, we're going to start with SmackDown, which is the A show that comes on Friday nights on Fox. And so, Santana, what did you think overall about tonight in terms of AEW and WWE tonight, what they had to offer?
Well, with SmackDown, I think SmackDown was a pretty good show this week versus how last week pretty much kind of went. Same with Rampage. I think both of these shows together, they had to do something because I mean they're kind of a little bit competing a little bit in regards to like, you know, as soon as SmackDown go off, I don't think nobody wants to sit an extra hour to watch Rampage or see what Rampage has to offer. However, I mean, both of these shows did really, really good tonight. It was very interesting with SmackDown, especially with one segment that I really, really can't wait to get to because I am tired of it.
Mm-hmm. And I know which one you're talking about too.
I'm gonna try to keep everything, PG over here, but it's getting really annoying.
Yes, it is. And we're going to get into it once we get into it. So first off, I want to say that SmackDown tonight emanated from Nashville, Tennessee, which is one of my favorite cities to be at. And we want to send a shout out to Nikki Bougie, who is one of our sisters in arms here at Women's Wrestling Talk, who was at the event. And I'm more than sure took all the pictures and saw all the things and just took in everything and what SmackDown had to offer. So shout out to her for being there and probably just, being out there still having a good time. That is if the wrestlers come outside like they do here in Birmingham after the show. So
Mhm.
it was, so shout out to her.
Yeah, that
Um,
was her first show, so it was the first time being at a WWE event. So she
mhm.
definitely got the experience that she was getting, and having the opportunity to see Charlotte in person for the first time. Because if you know Nikki, you know Nikki is down with the Queen. Okay, so it was a really really good moment for her to be able to attend the show and be excited to see Kevin Owens, because Kevin is one of her favorites, just like Sami Zayn is one of her favorites as well. So for her to actually be there live and be able to witness it, I know that she was in awe of everything that was transpiring, just like there in person.
That's so good for her. I'm so glad she had that moment and was able to, embark on that, level of joy of being there. There's nothing like being at a
Mhm.
live event at all. Like, you watch it on TV, but once you're actually there, it's like you just
It's
embrace all the
different.
sights and everything. So
It's
I'm so
different.
happy for her that she was able to experience that and see her favorites too.
Hmm.
So hopefully she'll be able to talk about her experience at some point. But now let's get into the show. Now, SmackDown tonight started with the Usos coming out and basically, celebrating their cousin, the Universal Champion Roman Reigns, as he um as he celebrated his 509 consecutive days as the Universal Champion. They came out there, they introduced him and everything, and you can tell, as they were talking about his accolades and everything, it was also still, of course, coming from a place of love, because of course that's their cousin and they watched him, come up from, and they were basically, raised together as a part of this family
Hmm.
dynamic and family dynasty. And so he came out, Roman Reigns came out, of course.
Hmm.
And as he came out, he was out there, just basking in the glow of everyone acknowledging him or whatever. And then they showed a montage, which is something that WWE doesn't get enough credit for, in my opinion.
Hmm.
A beautiful montage of all of Roman Reigns' victories starting in 2020 when he beat Braun Strowman, who was sadly not sadly, but no longer with WWE. Um, for the title, and how he's basically had a stranglehold on it ever since. This was in August of 2020 and it is now January of 2022. Like, that's insane to really think about. That's like over, almost basically over a year or two.
Hmm.
So that's pretty, astounding. Of course, it's not as much as many days as, like, say, Walter in NXT UK when he held the UK championship, or as many days as Kaylee Ray. But at the same time, for the modern era, for a main roster title, it's pretty huge.
Hmm.
So he does deserve, his flowers for that. And so as he was celebrating and telling Nashville to acknowledge him and all of the above, before he could really fully get into his speech, he was interrupted by Seth freaking Rollins. And they proceeded to jaw jack at each other, like they do, talking stuff at each other and everything. And Seth Rollins kept telling Roman Reigns that he could never do anything on his own, because this past Monday on Raw, the Usos came, and kicked Seth Rollins as he was fighting with Kevin Owens and had other stuff going on. And so they basically attacked him on Raw, which basically feeds into everything that happened tonight. And all of this led to the Usos. Well, it led to Seth Rollins, basically being challenged by the Usos to fight in a tag team match along with Kevin Owens, who came out there to assist him because they're best friends now or whatever. And they raised the stakes. So if the Usos had won this match at the end of the night, then Seth Rollins would lose his Universal title opportunity at the Royal Rumble, which is next weekend. But
Hmm.
then if KO and Seth won, then the Usos would have to be banned from ringside, so Roman wouldn't have any help. So, Santana, what did you think about this part?
Hmm. Well, I would say that even in the midst of Seth Rollins, thrashing Roman Reigns, he did give it up for the Usos for holding their titles for, I think, what, over 100 days and
Yes.
whatnot. So he was, shouting out the Usos and, let them know, like, how a lot of people like myself feel like, there are three Universal champions at this time. there's the Usos, and there's Roman. All three of them are carrying their title together.
Right.
And so, I mean, I like the little segment. I like this build up. It's just not something. It's not like we're just getting it just to be getting it. It's actually a build up. There is some type of story behind it. With these. With Roman and with Seth, I mean, they have history. They start out, being in the Shield and whatnot, and then having Seth turn on Roman and Dean, and continue to go so on and so forth, and then having them come back together to be, do some Shield stuff or just work as a tag, or even having their on-site feuds, and then actually branching out and not working together, building their own characters, and constantly still growing in this company. So now they come back together on a different level now. You have Seth, who is like, I'm better than you. I've always been better than you. You know that you've always had to have someone to carry you to get to this level. You can never do it by yourself, unlike me, who's never had any help from the authority, or never had help from having a faction like the AOP and Murphy, or never having, so many different people helping me, get my opportunities and whatnot. I guess Seth kind of want to push that under the rug and not,
Right.
Remember that he did have help getting that getting the WWE title, and getting all these type of opportunities and stuff like that, or didn't have people in his corner helping him. I guess maybe he forgot, maybe he has like amnesia or something, or what, because I mean, Roman, and I'm not the biggest Roman fan. However, I mean, we have to state facts. This is like really seriously like the first time Roman has really had people in his corner who just gonna always just so happen to be his cousins. They're gonna always be in his corner because that's family.
Right.
And so, I mean, with Seth, he's had so many different people in his corner that he's turned on. So it's like, who's really, who's really the problem here?
Right.
However, I mean, I'm pretty excited. I'm really excited to see how this ends at Royal Rumble. Even though I know it's just probably going to be like a one-off, but I wouldn't mind seeing Seth take that title off of Roman. I really wouldn't. Just give us time to give Roman a break from that title, so that he can't be like, the title is just there and it's just him and that's it. I need a little bit more out of Roman now. It's starting to get tiring of him just holding this title and it's not really having no substance to it. It's just he's just holding it just to say that he's the tribal chief and that's it.
Yeah, I can see definitely from that perspective, how you would, feel that way. Who is Roman the tribal chief without the universal title? That is something interesting, but my thing is the thing that I feel hesitant about with Seth having the universal title again, because he's had it before. Well, really, that's really the reason why I would feel hesitant. It's because of the fact that Seth has had it before. Like, it's something that we have seen, but then again, we haven't seen this iteration of Seth Rollins with the title. We've seen another iteration of it. But I do love this story. I do like where it's going in terms of their rivalry. And something that I also loved that they do continue to mention is stuff with the Shield, and how even Roman even called him a little brother, even still to this day. Like, it's like they have
like Vin Diesel. Like,
right.
This man, I feel like I was watching a Fast and Furious saga.
Yeah, and even in Seth's promo, he mentioned John Moxley by calling him Mox, right? And that made me feel like, even though they're beefing with each other all the time, or most of the time, they're gonna always have that unspoken bond.
Of course.
And that's the part of it that I really do appreciate. But the only part of it that I do feel weird about is just the fact that Seth and KO are calling themselves best friends. And it's just like Kevin Owens is
like two loony beans together.
Right. I mean, they're loony together and they work, but at the same time, it's just like Kevin Owens isn't good at really keeping friends.
Yeah, neither is Seth. So I
right.
don't. So maybe it will work for the time being, unless Seth wins that title. Because I mean, like I said, on Monday. Like if Seth wins, I mean Kevin was talking about like, it could be Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens for the Universal title and blah blah blah. And it's like Kevin's already throwing out, a little suggestion there. It's like, we may be best friends as of right now, but best friend, I want to get my opportunity first. I've been helping you. I've been by your side. I've been the only friend you could call on. So like,
Mm-hmm.
best friend, what's up? Like, you gonna give me
Yeah,
this
what's really
opportunity or
good?
not? Like we're best friends. I should be the first person in line. Like I'm your best friend. That's just like, I open up a new business and my best friend be like, oh, you want to give me a discount because you're my best friend? That's exactly how Kevin was acting on Raw. So I mean, who really knows what can happen between these two if Seth does win that title.
Right. Shout out to Joseph for this comment. As both men aren't good keeping friends, they worked well as a team today.
They did.
Yes, and we'll get to that match in just a little while. That's a very good observation.
Mm-hmm.
So after that little exchange, we wait for their match at the main event. So the next match was Madcap Moss versus Sir Kofi Kingston, the Hand of the King, who is still out with injury, and we do wish him the best as he's recovering from his injury, doing G4 stuff and playing the bass guitar on TikTok. Um, I was kind of hesitant to watch this match between Madcap Moss and Kofi because they
Mm-hmm.
had fought before, and last week it was just a little bit disheartening for me to sort of watch Sir Kofi lose. So a
Mm-hmm.
part of me was like, okay, well, why are they fighting again? Like, what are we doing? Like,
It's
and
the
yet,
repeat.
yeah, and here again, when Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss came out, he was doing one of his corny jokes, to which nobody laughed at, and
Usual.
and then Sir Kofi came out and did his entrance, and then they proceeded to fight in this match, which was very interesting because um Happy Corbin was always at Madcap Moss's side, right? For the
Mm-hmm.
little assist or whatever. But a lot of people he would say like, "Yeah, Kofi, you don't have any friends, right? Because King Woods is gone." But
Mm-hmm.
surprise, since people are coming on for Raw,
Mm-hmm.
Big E came out. And he came out looking like he was ready to fight. And if it's
Mm-hmm.
one thing I appreciate about Biggie, it's like even though he's really silly, he is a powerhouse. And and his presence was definitely felt during this match. And anytime Happy Corbin was trying to start with some shenanigans, Biggie was right there to hit
Just
him with a
awesome.
to hit him with a suplex or a big ending or whatever. And Kofi Kingston wound up coming out with the win. So this was different and it was a little bit fresh in terms of us not seeing the same thing that happened last week. So what did you think of this match?
Yeah, I mean, with for me, I love Big E. I'm always happy to see him on the screen. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? It's always great to see him, and so for him to come out tonight, which I never expected him to be there, but I mean, I feel like it was perfect because when's the last time we really seen like Big E and Kofi be together and whatnot, or just see Big E and the New Day type thing going on and stuff like that. So to see him out there, I mean, it's great. I'm really like I said, I'm always happy to see the New Day together. I don't care if they never. I don't care how many times they split them up. If they are all on TV together, it's great to me. I really don't understand this feud with Sir Kofi and Madcap Mox and what's his name?
Happy
Baron
Corbin.
Happy Corbin. I really don't understand this feud, but I guess it's just a filler for right now until Royal Rumble is kind of over with. Hopefully it is over by Royal Rumble and they figure out what else they're gonna do because this is a little boring. I guess it's a way to take the New Day away from the Usos and going after the tag titles and whatnot. Um, so I mean, I'm always here for it. I'm glad Kofi got the win.
Yeah, me too. I am just I will always love the New Day. So I definitely agree with you in the sense that I never get tired of seeing the New Day together. And you are right. Like this is kind of a new way to sort of pull the New Day away from the tag titles, and also, I guess you could say pull Big E away from the World Championship.
Or right down.
Picture for right now, but they all are in the Royal Rumble, which is something that they did
Hmm.
reiterate tonight. So, of course, you never know exactly what could happen in the Royal Rumble. You never know who could win. So, I am interested in seeing, which one of them, will try and last, as long as they can, in that Royal Rumble match. Because I would love for Big E to win it simply because it would just be huge for him. But Kofi is always going to give you that amazing moment where he does something completely
Hmm.
out of the box to stay in the match. And
Yeah.
Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, I feel like Madcap Moss is a little bit of a wild card because we've never seen him in that type of environment. And Happy Corbin is just devious, so you
He
can
might
count on
eliminate Madcap Mox, and Madcap Mox might roll out the ring and start laughing because he thinks it's a joke.
exactly right. So you just never know with those four. But Kofi Kingston came out with the win, and that was always good to see. So, moving on, in the show, we had a women's match, which did not really last as long, but
No.
you had a women's match between Aaliyah, though there's Aaliyah and Xia Li after that match, but it was between Aaliyah 317, which is what I'm calling her because she beat Natalia last week in 3.17 seconds, which is the fastest victory in WWE history. Um,
Hmm.
versus Natalia in a rematch. So I was wondering how come we were seeing this again because I would think that maybe Natalia wouldn't want to be seen after losing in such a way,
You
but
would
she
think.
wanted to fight her again. And this
Want to
match,
redeem herself. I would be embarrassed after I have been recognized for breaking Guinness World Records just to get beat by somebody who was in NXT for 7 years. The level of disrespect and the hard work
right,
that I've put in just to lose in the what three
point
7
17 seconds.
whatever seconds, it's disrespectful. Like this is Natalia Neihart, okay?
Right,
The Hart Dynasty, like this woman been in the game for years just to get beat up by a girl named Aaliyah.
right.
The audacity that Natty has to sit here and deal with this, wasting her time putting over people. But I guess someone in the audience seemed to be a little happy that Natty did get beat up with happened to be Summer Rae, who is actually in the Royal Rumble. And so they did show Summer Rae. I love her hair color. I really do. It really does
Yes.
suit her really, really well. It really does suit her. So I thought maybe there was going to be some type of interaction between them two, but I guess not. So I guess we're really going to have to wait until the Royal Rumble to see some type of interaction between Summer and Natty. Maybe we'll get another slap. maybe we get another slap. Who knows? And go from there. Maybe she'll tell her to get out of her ring or something.
Yeah, like even before before the bell rang, like Summer Rae did when they did the thing and they showed her on
Hmm.
the camera, she went like this at Natalia. Natalia was like, "Are
Hmm.
you serious?" Like she was saying, like, "Are you serious?" And then she said something like, "Kiss my ass" or something, And something
I
that
love it.
I love it too, but something that I am appreciating more so now, with this Royal Rumble, even though they've announced a lot of the women early,
Hmm.
which a lot of people have mixed feelings about. I do appreciate that here lately with Summer Rae and Maurice and Beth. It's like
Hmm.
they're showing more love to the Divas era in
Hmm.
terms of its place in women's wrestling history. And I actually appreciate that because even though it wasn't exactly the best era for women's wrestling as a whole, they're still acknowledging it and its place
Hmm.
and showing these women the respect that they do deserve. And I do appreciate that. And Natalia was a part of that era.
She was.
And it's just, and I just really appreciate that so much, from someone who experienced a lot of that. But this match, didn't necessarily end the best way it could have ended because Natalia was frustrated with the offense, with the amount of offense that Aaliyah was putting in. Like she was
Hmm.
doing, a little bit better and doing a little bit of her Karanas and stuff from the corner and all of the above. And Natalia got mad about that, and she started stomping on her head in the corner, and
Oh
the
no.
referee disqualified her for it. And she was upset about it and continued to beat up on her. And that was
As
where,
she should have.
yeah, as she should, as she should have, yes, in your opinion, from frustration. But then, as she was getting beat up, Aaliyah was looking like she had no help, but the Miss Protector, Zia Lee, came out and assisted her and basically kicked Natalia out of the ring. And I
Hmm.
enjoyed this because I love Zia Lee and what she has to offer in terms of her talent. And I absolutely love her entrance because it's just like when her entrance comes in, it's almost like just a character in a cartoon or an anime
Hmm.
just powering up.
Yeah.
Like she's here and she is really getting ready to fight you. And I love that because it's just like, girl, yes. Um,
Mhm.
and it just gets me amped up inside. So I love seeing her, be that protector, for Aaliyah. But I'm wondering, but it's been such a long time since we've seen Zia Lee on television. Because the
Yeah.
last time we saw her, she was protecting Naomi.
Yeah.
And
Oh Lord,
I'm
PTSD.
scared. I'm scared because I don't want Xylee to just come out and be
Be
the
this
protector
protector,
for
like get in the
people.
ring. Well, I know
Right.
she,
I want
I
her
know
to
she
fight a
wrestled
match.
on like live shows and whatnot. Like
Yes.
Shotzi and not Sonya, but Shotzi and Shayna.
Right.
On like live events, but we really haven't seen Shayna nor have we seen Shotzi on TV in a minute now, to be honest. And so I
Right.
mean, I don't know if they're pretty much just gonna try to save them for the Royal Rumble or what, but I mean, I feel like Shayna and Shotzi should be on TV.
They should.
I don't know what could be, going on behind closed doors that could be keeping them off TV. But I mean, I'm always here to see Shayna on TV, and I do like Shotzi. I do like seeing Shotzi. I mean, they had this thing going on in the beginning, with kind of like with her and Sasha, but I mean, they kind of dropped the ball on that, and I mean, the ball is even more dropped now that Sasha is injured. So it's I don't know. Like, I really would want to see Xia Li be in more matches instead of just coming out and being the protector that she is. If she's gonna be the protector, then get in the ring and fight too. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe next week her and Natty may have a match together or something. And Aaliyah may be in her corner or something like that. Who really knows? But I mean that could possibly happen. That could probably bring back Shayna or something because Shayna and Naya, I mean not Naya, Shayna and Natty were sort of a little tag team at some point. So I mean, who knows? Who really knows what the night before Royal Rumble can bring us for SmackDown?
Yeah, like SmackDown's women's division has been sort of depleted a bit,
Hmm.
and it's kind of disheartening because you have all these talented women and you're only seeing, a few at a time. And I want more. And like you said, I do wish or and do want for Xia Li to possibly fight in a match against Natalia because I feel like that would be absolutely, wonderful in terms of their contrasting styles of fighting.
And let it be a
So
lengthy match, not like 3 minute, 5 minute match. We don't need
right,
that.
give us like
Give us a
10
lengthy
minutes, 10 or
match. Okay.
15 minutes
Come
at
on
the
now. They
max,
can they can
please.
do lengthy matches, okay? Y'all know
Yes,
they can. I mean, don't even act like they can't do no lengthy match. This is not the Divas era again. These
right, it's
girls can
not.
actually wrestle, okay?
Right, don't make us fuss at you on social media because we'll do it.
Right.
We'll do it.
Remember what
Um,
happened last time.
Yeah, so that segment was pretty good, but like we always say, we are advocates of more time and more of a diverse roster of women being shown. So
Hmm.
definitely, more with that. And also in terms of women, you have the ongoing saga of Naomi versus Sonya Deville. Of course, last week on SmackDown, you had Naomi coming backstage to try to use a pretty good plan to try to fight Sonya Deville backstage, but then Adam
Hmm.
Pearce broke it up and said that she deserved another opportunity to fight Charlotte in a championship contenders match. So she was happy about that last week and told Sonya to stay in her cage. But of course, Sonya don't know how to stay out of folks' business. So
It wouldn't be a bird for, birds can always fly their way into something.
hmm so with this match, we were all hoping that this was going to be a good opportunity for Naomi to show more of what she had to offer against Charlotte Flair. But that was ruined by Miss Joy Kill, Miss Party Pooper Pants, Sonya Deville.
Corella.
And she came out there and made the referee take off his shirt and made him leave, and she put on the referee shirt. And Charlotte was taking advantage of the distraction because, of course, this was distracting Naomi because she couldn't really focus on the match per se because
Hmm.
Sonya was basically like getting in her head. And so with this, Charlotte proceeded to beat up on Naomi. And anytime Naomi, got some offense in, there was always some type of dastardly tactic by Sonya to get in her way to the point to where she knocked Sonya out of the ring. Well, no, Charlotte knocked Sonya
Yeah.
out of the ring by accident because Naomi moved. And then Naomi hit Charlotte with the rear view and she covered her for the 1, 2, 3. But Sonya was taking her sweet time getting back in the ring. And so when Charlotte proceeded to beat up on Naomi, she was able to slide back into the ring and do the 1, 2, 3, and Charlotte won the match still. And it was almost like, and during the match, Charlotte had beat up on Naomi's knee, like she had hurt
Mhm.
her knee and everything. And Naomi just looked very dejected here. And it was like to the sound of so many boos from the audience and
It
everything.
was a screw drop. Like,
Everybody on social media was angry. Even Pat McAfee was like, "What in the Bret Hart was that?" Because she hit the figure 4 on Naomi, and she didn't even tap out.
not at all.
She didn't tap out. There was no submission there where Naomi tapped out, and she just rang the bell on her. And it was very reminiscent of the Montreal screw job, except in this case, it was the Nashville screw job. So I was frustrated. I was angry. All of social media was angry. You were angry on social media. I saw what you said. So, Santana, how do you feel about this feud going forward? Because, well, there is more to it. Because even backstage, when Adam Pearce was talking to Eric Bischoff, of all
Hmm.
people, and Sonya came back there, proud of her work, smiling and grinning or whatever. Adam Pearce was like, "Look, this is a gross, abuse of power. So next week you have to fight Naomi now." I thought for sure that he was gonna say, "Oh, you're gonna fight her tonight," but nope, they gotta push it back to next week.
Hmm.
So I was just like, okay, fine. Like, please, just let her actually fight her. Like, but I'm almost doubtful about that. So Santana, what do you think about this at this stage?
Honestly, truly, like this feud or whatever they want to call it has been going on way too long.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense that this feud with Naomi and Sonya is so dragged out. None of this is putting Naomi over. None of it is. That this feud is not doing anything for her. It's
Mm-hmm.
not doing anything. It's just pissing everybody off who's watching this every week. Every week Naomi is she's either not getting a match, getting ignored, treated as if she's below everybody or beneath everybody, treated as if like she's never accomplished anything. When she does get an opportunity to have a match, Sonya comes out and ruins it every chance she get. You know what I'm saying? I know how these like authority type feuds type of like kind of go, but it's a different time now. What may would have worked back then, it doesn't work now. By no means necessary. It may work into the eyes of those who like, well, I mean, every time Sonya comes out, what does everybody do? Get mad. So obviously it's working. They see the uproar that's showing on social media. And I mean, like, if this is what is supposed to put Naomi over, then what is the end game? What is going to resolve this feud and put it to an end? Because if y'all gonna try to make this go to WrestleMania, I don't even think this feud is even big enough to even go to WrestleMania. All the thing it is that Sonya doesn't want to get in the ring with Naomi, and when she has got in the ring with her, it was either she was being attacked by Shayna or she's being attacked by this person or she got Charlotte here now, and it's just like it's really tiring, and it's coming to the point where whenever Sonya comes on TV, everybody is mad. everybody is mad, upset, want to probably throw their TV and wish they could snatch her by her nose through the TV or something, or wring her by her neck or something. This feud has, since it started, has done nothing for Naomi. I don't know like what's not clicking back there or what y'all trying to do, but it's not giving what you think it's giving. It's giving like you guys are really trying to play as if like Naomi isn't who she is, like a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, the first Black woman to hold a SmackDown title. She was what, Miss WrestleMania, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, why are y'all trying to play as if like she has no accolades against someone who actually doesn't have any accolades? Never had a title. Only time she was relevant was because of her feud with Mandy Rose, and that was the worst feud they ever had together anyway. So I'm not understanding exactly what they're trying to do with this, but it's really annoying. It's really annoying, and I don't want to see this feud continue to be dragged out. But I would hope that Naomi does get this match next Friday. I do, but I doubt that it happens. I really doubt that they really go through with this. Sonya's gonna find her way to get out of this match some kind of way. But I really would hope that if she does, Adam Pearce put his foot down and be like, you know what? If you do not face Naomi tonight, and if you don't win, or like if you don't win, if you don't face Naomi tonight, we will strip you from your authority privileges. And if you don't win, we will strip you from your authority privileges, and you will go back to being an active wrestler. That needs to happen in order for her to be like, you've really been toying with this girl and not really having a legitimate reason as to why you dislike her. So what Sonya used to say, put up and square up. It's time to do
Mhm.
that. Put your hair up and square up, because now it's time to do that.
Yeah, here's my view on it. As far, I don't see this feud going all the way to WrestleMania at all,
No.
because it's January, number one, and WrestleMania is like in April, and that's April or March. April.
April.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in April, and I just don't see them stretching that out that
Yeah, if they
far.
stretch that to WrestleMania.
That, I mean, that is huge. Like, that is like huge levels of stretching something out, and I just don't see them stretching it out that far, because it's been almost since like, what, September, maybe at the most, August
Probably
maybe.
so. Yeah.
And we didn't even get a match with them or any type of interaction with them even at day one.
No.
And the thing that frustrates me the most is not even it, it's the fact that somehow or another you haven't given Naomi any type of comeuppance. And that irritates me, because it's just like, you see that Sonya is clearly getting a rise out of all of us, not only
Hmm.
just on social media, but even as the audience is there. And you see that this is irritating and making everybody angry. Why aren't you letting Naomi? I understand you're probably trying to save face and keep her as a good guy, but there are times where even in real life you can try your best to be a good guy, but people push you.
Hmm.
People push you to a certain point where you just don't want to be nice no more. And Naomi, needs to be booked in a way that still makes her look strong and doesn't make her look so weak. She has never been weak. It's like you said, she's been a champion. Like, she was a part of a prominent tag team, even though it was during the Divas era, she was a part of a prominent tag team.
Hmm.
And it's just like with Sonya, it's like the only thing you have ever done is be a singles competitor, be a second fiddle to Mandy Rose when she was on the main roster, and the both y'all didn't even win Tough Enough. Let's be real about that. When y'all were both on Tough Enough, y'all didn't even win that. So
Not a,
it's just like, I'm sorry, you're treating Naomi like she's a lesser when really you're a lesser. And it's aggravating to me because you're being a bully, and
hmm.
bullies never win, and I'm ready to see Naomi just go ham on her and get buck on her and beat her behind, like to the white meat. Like, I'm ready. Like, I am so ready. I've never been so ready to see two people fight, and I hope Naomi kicks her behind. and I hope she wins because her consistently losing is giving off like y'all really don't care about Naomi for real. Like y'all don't value her, like y'all don't
Mhm.
respect her, and that angers me because she's been with y'all for 10 years. She deserves better. She deserves so much better than what y'all are giving her. And I'm just really tired of y'all just playing her, for short. So that's just my rant about that. And here's hoping that they actually do fight next week. But
Mhm.
I'm very doubtful about it too. And I usually try to be as positive as I can, but I'm very doubtful about it too. But we're just gonna wait and see. But it's making me angry.
Very.
So
Um,
yeah, but for us to go on and press on for the rest of this show, you had a backstage interaction with Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, and Rick Boogs and
mhm.
Jeff Jarrett,
Mhm.
who's a Hall of Famer, and that was cool. Like that was really cute. And then you also had Sami Zayn have another interaction with Johnny Knoxville, and with Sami Zayn pretending like he was electrocuting himself for fun, but it wasn't on, and Jim and Johnny Knoxville actually turned it on and electrocuted the
Mhm.
crap out of him. And it was just really funny to me. So I was just like, okay, like they're just gonna have a feud all the way up until the Royal Rumble, and it's just gonna be funny. So that was,
Definitely.
for a haha giggles, nothing to really be taken fully seriously with that. But I think it's funny. So, Santana, what do you think about that?
I mean, like I said, Sammy, he is a he's gonna be a very very well respected wrestler when he hangs up his boots. Like he's gonna be extremely like well respected for what he has done inside and outside of the ring. I don't feel like no one else could be able to work with some of the other celebrities the way that Sami Zayn has. Like, I don't think nobody else could work with Johnny Knoxville like Sammy. Because I mean, Sammy, he'll go and try all types of things and see if it works for him and whatnot, just to say that, oh, well, I can do it too if you can. Like, you want to come here into my ring and try to be a wrestler and throw me over the top rope, then I can go out here and electrocute myself or make you think I'm out here electrocuting myself. But because you're somebody like Johnny Knoxville who's used to doing all types of things, if you're familiar with the Jackass crew, um, yeah. So I mean, he's not giving you what Steve O gave us back in the day, because I mean, Steve O was he, he was on a whole nother level when he came over to WWE. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I mean, this is a little PG, but I believe if this was Steve O, I don't think it'd better air on TV the way that it did back,
No.
because the way that Johnny electrocuted Sammy, I think Steve O would have did it a different way.
Oh yeah, he
It would
definitely
have
would
did
have
it a
did it
different
a different
way.
way.
And I would just pray for Sammy's private area. That's all I would say. That's really all I would say. But I mean, I'm here for this little thing that they have going on. I'm excited to see. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do be in the ring at the same time for the Royal Rumble. Maybe we'll see some interaction between them two. I mean, we've been seeing it, so I mean, we have to see it during the Royal Rumble. It's a must. It would be pointless if we didn't see those two have some type of interaction inside the ring. And who knows? Maybe Sammy might, eliminate Johnny Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? He might. Or Johnny might eliminate Sammy. And the rest would be history for Sami Zayn.
Right, definitely. I agree with all of that, but it's just really funny to see. And it was really cool. So, it just reminds me of my childhood. Jesus, have you seen it? Yes. So basically, after that point, you had Sheamus versus
Ricochet.
Ricochet again, and Ridge Holland had came back to be at Sheamus's side,
Mm-hmm.
and he's recovered from his broken nose. But this match
He
went by.
recovered quick.
Yeah, he did. Um, this went by kind of quick, and that upset me because I'm tired of watching Ricochet lose. I'm so tired of
I
it.
think it's funny when Ricochet loses because, and I'll tell you why. Because
It's not.
WWE always try to make it seem like Ricochet is going to win. Like he's just going to be like, "Oh, Ricochet, he could almost win," and then boom, Claiborne. It's just, I mean, he's a great seller. He really is, and I feel like they've dropped the ball on the Ricochet. They might well send Ricochet back to go take him to NXT. You know, let him go down there and be some little high flyers with them folks down there or something 2.0. Because I mean, on the main roster, you would think, okay, on Raw he was getting beat up all the time or barely even on TV, and now that he's on TV, he don't even get an entrance, or if he does get a match, it's long, but then it's not that long, but then he always loses. So it's just like right now, Ricochet is just a big punching bag. And
Right.
that's really all it is. He's just a punching bag right now.
And then what's so devastating is the fact that Samantha Irvin, who was in NXT, got brought up to the main roster to be the ring announcer for SmackDown, and that's his girlfriend. And it's
Like
just
your
like,
girlfriend gotta watch you get beat up every week.
right, that's not.
She
I
gotta
wonder,
announce you through she gotta give you an announcement through the commercial.
like, I wonder how that even feels. Like to lose in front of your girlfriend like that. Like, oh my god.
Look,
Mm,
is either you, I mean, look, is either she watch you on the screen lose or she just sit right there in front row action and see you lose.
mm.
I'm pretty sure he's winning in life because Samantha is real pretty.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
So he's, I believe, like he's winning in life. You know, maybe not in wrestling wise, but you know, in life he's winning.
Yeah,
For
he's
those who
probably
feel
winning
like
in
he
life.
is,
But we're just gonna pray for or send good vibes for Ricochet and his, career, and he finds a new trajectory because
maybe
this
he
is
be in the final four for Royal Rumble.
maybe,
It's not going
maybe
to happen,
because
but
he
you
did go
know,
far in that one little gauntlet match. So I mean, you just never know. You never know.
I doubt it. He gonna be eliminated immediately. Like you gonna keep that man after Royal Rumble immediately. Like soon as he get in, he gonna do some little cute little flippy stuff, and then boom, he gonna get tossed right out like he did in 2022. Well, no, 2020. Actually, the same way Drew McIntyre tossed himself out that ring. Yeah, I'm just being honest. I mean, look, listen, Stephanie, we gotta be honest. Like that man is like Ricochet is gonna get tossed out immediately. Like watch. You're gonna be watching Royal Rumble and you're gonna be looking at Ricochet. You're like, oh my god, it's Ricochet. Look, he's in there for so long, and then boom.
And then I'm gonna blame you. I'm gonna blame you. Okay, we gotta go to our main event of SmackDown. Let's just pray for Ricochet. We're gonna go to our main event of SmackDown, which was, of course, Kevin Owens and Seth freaking Rollins versus the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos. As you can see, there was high stipulations. Like I said earlier, if Seth and Kevin win, the Usos were barred from ringside at the Rumble, and if the Usos win, Rollins will lose his opportunity at the Universal title at the Royal Rumble. So this match was really fantastic. You had a lot of high flying action, kicking, just a whole lot of amazing things from all of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really fire. Like it was a really good main event to have, like, to end this SmackDown match. Like it was great. So I really enjoyed it, but the end kind of left me a little bit puzzled. But it ended with Roman Reigns coming out when Seth had all the momentum in the match after hitting a suicide dive onto the Usos. He came out and then everybody had hit like super kicks on everyone and Samoan drops on everyone and so many
Mm-hmm.
different things. Seth had the momentum and he looked like he was about to take the victory, but Roman Reigns came from backstage because he was back there by himself watching the match, and he punched Seth Rollins in the face, and which basically meant that the Usos were disqualified, which left Kevin Owens and Seth as the winners.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, Nikki, he was a face. Shout out to you for being there. Seth was a face. So that happened. So basically, now Seth versus Roman at the Royal Rumble is still a go for the
Mm-hmm.
title, and the Usos can't be at ringside. So, what did you think about this match, Santana?
I mean, hey, Roman had to find a way to not literally let his cousins like get pinned or anything. So why not interrupt the match and Superman punch Seth in the face so that you're giving Seth what he wants. So here we are. It will be Roman versus Seth freaking Rollins at the Royal Rumble with the Usos not on the side. Let's see how Roman, the tribal chief, the head of the table, y'all table, not mine, get here and win and beat Seth, someone who has beaten him plenty of times for a title plenty of times. And so let's see if the tribal chief can, have all of this energy without having his cousins by his side. Let's see if that energy is there, Let's see if he still got it. Or does he retain his title, or will there be a new champion? I'm pushing for a new champion. I want a new champion. I always said Roman is starting to get stale to me. I don't look forward to him coming out every week because he's going to do the same thing. He's either going to open the show or he's going to close it. He's going to talk. He's going to walk down the aisle for like 10 minutes. He's going to talk for 3, and then somebody else is going to come out and be the life for the segment because he's boring now. Sorry, man.
Well, I respectfully disagree with you. I don't think Roman is really boring at this stage. Like, he's still entertaining to me. The bloodline information, not information, Lord. The bloodline story is still entertaining to me and stuff. So I'm kind of on the side of not wanting him to lose the title just yet. I'm just not ready to watch him lose. I'm not ready to watch him lose that title. I'm just not.
He needs to. It's a must. It's time to see Roman, be on the other side chasing something or getting something back. What I'm saying? Putting his cousins to the test to be like, you know what? My title was taken away from me because of y'all. And it's like, well, you were the one who threw that out there. What I'm saying? You threw out the challenge and everything. So it's like, yeah. Well, it depends on who their next big star is going to be. We really don't know until after the Royal Rumble, So, obviously, we pretty much know, like, after the Rumble, I don't think Bobby is going to win. I would want him to, but I don't think he is. And so I think that this is what I think. I think that Roman loses at Royal Rumble. Seth wins. Seth takes the title back to Raw. Brock finished up his thing with Bobby. It may go to Saudi. Who really knows? And then Brock goes back down to SmackDown. Of course, him and Roman still have their unfinished business. We know that. That's probably going to lead to WrestleMania. Probably going to lead to WrestleMania. And this could end with Roman maybe getting his title back and then maybe somebody coming out. It could. If you can smell what is cooking, I don't really know if that could be what could happen. If not at this one, then maybe at the next year WrestleMania.
See, that would upset me. Because I've been pushing and sort of predicting that maybe The Rock would come back for Roman.
But I don't want no title involved. Like, there shouldn't be a title involved with those two at all whatsoever. I don't need another like Rock versus Cena thing.
Yeah.
Where there was a title involved and all they did was just switch it back and forth. Like, I wouldn't want that to happen. I would want it to just be figure out who is truly the head of the table.
Right.
Does The Rock pass the torch to Roman?
Right, because he tried that once before and it didn't work at the Royal Rumble.
No, it didn't. The fans were not buying it.
We were not.
The fans did not care. They didn't care about Roman at that time at all whatsoever. They didn't.
Right.
They didn't at all.
Yes, there are so many ways that this could go.
Yeah, I think Big E is in position for it. Big E, Big E is in position for it, you know what I'm saying? And I really hate how they've done Big E's reign though. It was so terrible. He being that he is, I mean, he literally changed his ways to be more serious because people were complaining about how he was being such a goof and all this and that. And now he doesn't even have a title anymore. You know what I'm saying? His reign lackluster when y'all let Roman beat him on his show. That was dumb. That was the dumbest thing y'all could have ever did, was allow that triple threat match to happen and let Roman go over on this man on his show. That was stupid. And that was really stupid. I think he would show up at the Rumble. I'm here for it. I'm not calling him in there. His name is Walter to me. I only know
it's Walter to me too.
I don't know who Gunther is. I don't know who that is. I know who Walter is, and I would love to see Walter at I don't know who that man is. I know who Walter is, and I would want to see Walter come into the Royal Rumble and just start popping people in the chest immediately. And maybe he could be that next star. He can. He could be that next star that can build up. Once he's kind of done with NXT 2.0, bring him up to the main roster and let him go out the Roman. I mean, we still got Ciampa and we still got Pete Dunne, who are, making their way up to the main roster eventually. If not, they may make their debut at Royal Rumble. So, I mean, it ain't the first time they've been in the Royal Rumble, but I mean, coming up to the main roster wise, I wouldn't mind seeing them, be some next opponents for Roman. Because they're gonna give Roman that work because those boys can wrestle. Okay, and they have experience with holding titles very, very long, especially Pete Dunne. Yep. Okay, so, and I'm always rock with Pete Dunne because that's my husband in my UK world. So,
yeah, definitely. There's so many ways that WWE could go after, during the Royal Rumble and even after the Royal Rumble. So on the road to WrestleMania, you just never know what you're gonna get. So it's still exciting. There's still cool stuff.
Bring KO and Roman back.
Yeah, bring that back. That would be cool too. There's a lot of stuff on the horizon. But in light of everything that happened on SmackDown, we got to flip and go to another wrestling world in terms of AEW Rampage, which comes on TNT right after SmackDown goes off. So this show started with Jon Moxley versus Ethan Page. This was Jon Moxley's first real match back on AEW television since he took a break to recover. And we wish him the very best in his recovery. He looked really good Wednesday night when he made his speech talking about fighting all of his demons and doing what was necessary to get himself better and all of the above. And he looks great. So this match was different for me because, like I said last week, I am still very much new to AEW. So watching Ethan Page was very interesting to me because I had never really seen him before, but he seemed like he was doing a really good job. He was really giving Jon Moxley the business. A part of me felt like that Jon Moxley was going to win the match ultimately because, of course, it's his triumphant week back. But at the same time, Ethan Page was giving him what for. But then something that I did find interesting was the fact that since Ethan Page and what is his partner's name?
Scorpio Sky.
When they both came out, it was like he sort of sent Scorpio Sky to the back, and it was and that energy was a little bit weird. I don't know exactly what that is, sort of planting seeds for. But, he went out there by himself, and that match was pretty fire, but Jon Moxley wound up winning. And it was great. So what did you think of this match?
I thought it was pretty good, having Jon Moxley come back after, the whole, getting rehab and all this and that. I mean, seeing him not looking at him like he never lost his step or anything like that. With Ethan Page, I mean, I don't see nothing. I mean, I've watched his matches, him and Scorpio do tag matches, but even have their own feuds within like Darby Allin and so on and so forth. So to see him and Moxley be in a match together, I thought it was pretty dope. And speaking of planting seeds, after John wins, I mean, we see Bryan Danielson off to the top, clapping for him and everything. It's like, are we getting a Moxley versus Danielson like feud or something? Like what are we implying here? Well,
Yeah,
what are we doing with that? Because if that's gonna be something next that's happening, I would not be upset about it. I'm always here to see Daniel in a feud with somebody. Like it never fails. And for it to be Moxley, that could be like, the next thing that could possibly happen. I mean, AEW is known for giving people matches that they want to see, just for the hell of it. It doesn't even have a storyline to it or nothing, just because it's a wrestling company with their demographic being wrestling fans. And so why not just put two people together that people would love to see in a match together? And here we are.
yeah, and to
We have-
and I can't remember because when that moment happened, a part of me
Mhm.
was like, they never fought in WWE, did they? I can't remember if
Not
they
that
ever
I can
did.
recall. I think they may have been in a match. They may have been cross paths, but I don't think they've actually been in a one-on-one match before. Not
Right.
that I can recall.
Right. Like I'm very interested in seeing it. I was just like, ooh. And when it happened, I was like, ooh, a little blast from the past. Okay, come on, come on,
I
come
love
on,
how
come
they're
on.
like meeting, what I'm saying, even though they're in like different characters at a different company. I think that's what makes the best of it. Um oh so Brian was supposed to be, well, it was supposed to be Brian and John in the finales before he did take the hiatus.
Mm.
And it was for the that TV, was it the AEW World Title Tournament that they had going on.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Brian was supposed to, well, he ended up facing Heyman Page in that hour-long match that,
The 60-minute match.
yeah,
Yeah.
that really could have been like 30 minutes, but because they just love good old wrestling, they just want to make it longer than expected, and here we are. But yeah, I mean, I really wouldn't mind seeing that match between Brian and John. I think it'll be great to have, and I mean, hey, he's back now, so and maybe they'll pick up where they left off on Wednesday for Dynamite.
Right. Like it's pretty intriguing stuff and I like that. And then after this match they had a clip of Mercedes Martinez again talking about how much of an OG badass that she is. And
Love
of
Mercedes.
course, yeah, me too. And then of course Thunder Rosa had a response to her. And this is always interesting to me because I actually like this form of um doing promos at each other without actually talking to each other. That's
Hmm.
something I actually like because they're showing all the clips of why they're angry as they're talking. And
Hmm.
it's just a good way to sort of remind you, of what was going on and what is leading them to this confrontation that is set to take place whenever it's set to take place because they really don't
Right.
say when they're going to fight. But I am very interested in that. I'm really interested in seeing those two fight because I love those two very much. So that's gonna be cool. But also, in terms of action, we had Nick Jackson of the Young Bucks versus Trent Beretta, who came out there, of course, with the Best Friends crew with Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander, and the others, whose
Mhm.
names I don't really recall because, like I said, I don't watch it as much. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. And then you had, of course, Nick Jackson coming out there with his brother.
Mhm.
Um, and their camera guy and there's just oh god there's so much about them but they came out all frilly or whatever and this match was pretty stellar. I
It
actually
was a
liked
battle of the
it.
super kicks. It's always a battle of who can do the most outrageous move ever, and
Yeah, and who can jump.
that's exactly what you would get if a young buck is in a match. It's always going to be some high flying, some out of the ordinary move to create a moment and whatnot. And honestly, I mean, when are we going to get past the whole best friends versus it, the whole super click elite whatever type thing? Honestly, I mean, the match, it was great. I mean, it's not the first time I've pretty much seen them be in some type of match together. But I mean, eventually it's gonna come down to it where they're gonna have like a really, really big match, and this is gonna be the custody battle of Adam Cole, like I say, because right now Adam Cole is sort of in the middle. But I mean, shout out to him and Britt; they did a great job on their match
They
on
did.
Wednesday. So I mean, I'm excited about. I mean, I'm happy about that. First time we got to see them interact with each other, and everything. And of course, we know Chris and Cassidy. They're known for work with each other. So I mean, it wouldn't be no secret with them. But with this match here, it was pretty cool. I mean, I wasn't too much into it like that. But I will say that the Young Bucks, they are quite entertaining. I will say that in their interesting clothing that they choose to wear
Yeah.
every time I see them.
And then it was funny because there was a couple of moments where Nick Jackson was reaching for his brother to tag him.
Mhm.
And it's so funny because, of course, primarily they're known for being one of the
Yeah.
best tag teams in the world. But
Mhm.
it's just like you barely see them, do single stuff. So it was just kind
Yeah.
of like, no, this is single
Like
stuff.
you can't
But
tag him in, okay?
right,
This is
but he
not
was
no.
holding his own. And so was Trent, because I had never
Mhm.
seen Trent wrestle before, but they were saying on commentary that he had come back from a neck injury
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I guess he had been out for a number of months.
He was. He actually recently just came back not too long ago. And ever since then, he's been on Dynamite. He's been on AEW Dark and Elevation, and he's been on TV since he's been back.
Mhm.
And within this feud between the best friends and the Super Click and the Red Dragons and all that. So I mean, he's been back. He's been in a few matches since then as well. So I mean, I'm always it's always interesting because I do like Orange Cassidy. I do like to see him on my screen. So he seems like he's just cool people.
Yeah. Also a part of the show, which was something I just realized I missed, was a promo between the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus,
Mhm.
basically talking about the Guns and their attack and ambush on Christian Cage. And you could tell Jungle Boy was very angry about that attack, and basically said that when Christian Cage comes back, they're basically going to give them a beat down.
Mhm.
And that was pretty the most intense. Well, since I've been watching AEW, that was the most intense I had ever seen Jungle Boy. So that
Not
was
me. I mean,
really okay. He's been intense
when he
before. Okay,
had that, well, when
we're
he had
learning.
his feud with, well, when he had his feud with the whole Adam Cole, and the Young Buck situation. I mean, he was pretty adamant about like wanting to give them a beat down, which he did. And so I mean he's so lovable. He's very much over. Like people are always, dancing to his theme song whenever he come out and swaying their hands and whatnot. I call him the Jurassic Park Express. That's what I refer to them as because that's exactly what it's giving. Um, but I mean, I'm it's nice to see them two hold these titles and whatnot. And I mean, hopefully, when Christian Cage does come back, I feel like maybe Christian might turn on them. I don't know why. I just feel like he will. It's probably bound to happen that Christian's gonna turn on Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Like, it's gonna happen. I can feel
Maybe,
it. It's gonna happen.
maybe so, and that would make for intriguing television. Because, like I say, I'm still new to it, so it's just like me looking at it. I'm pretty sure it would be interesting to see, if Christian were to turn on him. But I can't necessarily imagine it because it's just like they need to get revenge on the Guns because it's like it's three of them, so it's just kind of like
I
how
mean, come on now. Can we really trust Christian?
no.
Exactly. Can we really trust Christian?
No.
He's known for doing the turn on the people.
Yes.
Whether
Yes.
it's three people or on two, he's known for making himself the fourth person. So who knows?
Yeah. But yeah, I am intrigued to see where that goes. So also with that, you had another match between Hook, who
Hmm.
they love to send, and Serpentico. So this match was relatively quick, in the sense that from the way that Serpentico looked, I thought it was going to be a little bit of a longer match, but it
No.
was getting closer and closer to like the end of the
Hmm.
show. So I was just like, okay, well, maybe it won't be as long or something. But because it's like Serpentico just looked like he just has the look of somebody that would, give you, a beatdown or something like that. But that's not what
Yeah,
happened
total
here.
opposite.
The complete opposite. Hook beat up on old dude before he could even get his kimono off and everything, and he was tangled in all of this string and all of this other stuff, and he was beating him up and beating him up until Hook got him in a lock, and it basically just made him tap out, and that was the end of it. But Hook couldn't even really celebrate the win that long because QT Marshall came out and started jaw jacking at him,
Hmm.
and Hook basically hit him, and threw him over on the stage and then just walked out. And it's just so funny because Hook is just so little, but he's so destructive. He's
Yeah.
so small, but he is just, and he has just like this baby face, but he is so destructive. And I think that that's very interesting.
I
Is
don't
Hook
know.
undefeated? Like, is he
He's
basically
undefeated as
at
of
this
right
point?
now.
Okay.
He's been undefeated since his first match. Like he hasn't lost since like at all. Like he's never lost a match. And they only
Mhm.
keep him on Rampage because so that the matches are like not that lengthy. Like there could
Mhm.
be like maybe a 5 to 6 minute match and whatnot. So we really can't see his true potential. I mean, a lot of people are over this guy. Um, like huge fans, like happy to see him. Like merchandise gets sold out really quickly. Me personally, I'm still growing on to him. As far as like caring that the fact that he exists, you know, because it's like, okay, his matches aren't really that long. He's not really facing that many credible people that would make me want to sit here and be like, oh man, Sin Hook, he's a really dope guy. Oh my god, I'm his biggest fan. Like, it's just not there for me right now.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if it's because his matches are not that long or how overhyped people are about him. And
Mhm.
maybe if I cared enough to want to pay attention to him more, then maybe he would be like somebody, oh my god, let me send Hook or whatever, fight my
Yeah.
brother or something, like toss somebody up for me, yeah, something like that. But I mean, his wrestling ability is not that great, but it has potential. He does have potential to be a AEW star
He
that
does.
could maybe hold the TNT title one day. He does have that potential. I mean, I don't know how he sounds on the mic because he don't really talk.
Yeah,
Um,
he doesn't.
so hopefully once he gets a lot more matches under his belt, gets in a lot more maybe feuds or something, then maybe we'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, maybe so. But I do see the TNT title for him. I definitely see that for him.
Mhm.
That would be really cool. So, but as far as I've seen, he's just been really destructive. And I was also very surprised to still find out to even know in my mind that he's Taz's son. Like
Yeah, it's
that just blew my mind to bits when I found. I was like, what? Like that's
yeah,
so
that's
crazy.
his son. I mean,
That's
he
so
looks like him. I mean, he
crazy.
has the same. If you look at Taz being younger, he makes the same mean mug facial expression as Taz did,
Mhm.
and still probably does. So
Mhm.
I mean, the resemblance is there. He's just a little blonde haired kid. That's
Yeah,
really all that it is. Just a little blonde haired kid.
but he has great potential. So
He does.
yes, he does. So Hook with the win, like congratulations.
Mhm.
So the main event, which was awesome for me because I love it when women main event It's the
Mm-hmm.
bomb. You for the TBS title, which I thought was kind of weird that she was defending the TBS title on TNT, but they're all under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Like they could have had that on Wednesday, but it's okay. You had the TBS championship match between Jade Cargill and Anna Jay. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, Jade Cargill had Smart Mark out there with her, and Anna Jay had John Silver of the Dark Order out there with her. So I love this match. Like I really love this match. Like it's just like Jade looked like $1,000,000, which she kept saying she looked like money and all that because of her nails and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And it was cool because she was in Washington D.C., which is where she went to college at Howard
Mm-hmm.
University, and she did take pictures of herself on Instagram on that campus and stuff like that. So it was just really cool for her to do that and be there. So and she fought in front of her daughter again, which was always precious to me. It slays me every time. And Anna Jay really was ready to kick butt and fight, and show her that she wasn't just gonna, just be ran over. She kept saying, that I'm that bitch slayer. And that
Mm-hmm.
was really cool. So I was just like, okay, Anna Jay, let's see what you got. And she was really game. And anytime Smart Mark was trying to, distract Anna Jay or something like that, it was like John Silver was always getting in his face or whatever. And there was this one part where Jade was flexing at
Mm-hmm.
John Silver. He was just like, "Yeah, I'm ripped," and she was like, "Yeah, I'm ripped too." And then it was a distraction because Anna Jay came out of nowhere and kicked Jade in the face, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, that was so cool." Um, so I really, really enjoyed this match. Anna Jay, impressed me here. And she was able to show that she really was game for whatever Jade had to bring to her. But ultimately, Jade came out with the win and retained her TBS title in front of her child, and I'm pretty sure probably in front of her sisters as well. So it was great. I loved it. So what did you think of this match?
I'm always happy to see Jade on my screen. Like
Yes, me
never
too.
fail to say I'm always happy to see like what she's gonna wear and stuff like that. I mean, her holding this title, I still have ups and downs, like just different things about it because I feel like she could go after that, AEW world title. But I guess it's just something that her to kind of hold on to as of right now, as she starts to get, a little bit more better, better in the ring and everything. She has a look. She does like she has everything but the ring skills,
Right.
and it sucks because if Jade had the ring skills, the way that her look is, her presence, the way she speaks, if she had all of that, she would be the total package. She really would. But because her ring skills are still as green as grass or money, as she like to say, um, it kind of still hinders her from being that top star in a lot of people's eyes, because I don't think people dislike Jade. I just think that a lot of people hate the fact that they know that she's star power, and it's just her ring ability is just not the best. She's still growing and she's still learning. This only been a year for her. So she's done so much thus far. And although I know they may feel like she's being billed like, I don't know, a Goldberg or something, whatever, it is what it is. But tonight, her and Anna Jay, they did put on a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Jay, she hasn't been that best in the ring either, but she's growing too. She's gotten better. She really impressed and showed out tonight. What it's just like when I see Anna Jay and not seeing Tay with her, it allows Anna to shine more. Instead of being like kind of overshadowed by Tay and Tay's popularity and whatnot. So to see her there, um, in this match with Jade, there were little kinks there that just weren't going the way it was supposed to go. But in the end, it did what it needed to do, and Jade ended up, still holding on this title. I mean, of course, we know she's not going to lose this title anytime soon. or anything like that. I do feel like Jade could, dethrone Britt once Jade gets to that star power. Like, well, not star power, but more so like when her wrestling is a lot better. Because even Britt's wrestling is not that great either, but Britt can still hold her own in a match, though she can. So I don't know. I want a lot more for Jade. I do. I'm very much a huge fan of her and everything. And I know that Jade can be that next star. She got to get better in the ring. Once she can, she will definitely be money. She really would.
To the moon.
Mhm.
Definitely. So I'm rooting for her success and also for her continued improvement in the ring. And
Mhm.
also for Anna Jay. Like it was just they did put on a really good show tonight. For the main event. It was definitely worth it. So that's pretty much all. So um all that happened in wrestling tonight with SmackDown and AEW Rampage.
Mhm.
Santana, thank you so much for joining me
Of
so we
course.
could talk about everything that happened. So, of course, we have to wrap it up, but tell people where
Mhm.
they can find you and follow you.
Well, you guys can type in my name, Driune Santana, anywhere, and you'll pretty much find me. On Instagram and Twitter is where I normally am. So if you just type in Driune Santana, my Instagram and my Twitter will pop up, and that's where you'll find me. Because I have two different names on there, so.
Yes. And of course, you can find me, Stephanie Hardy, on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy. So if you ever just follow us there. And on our handles. And also know that you can follow Women's Wrestling Talk on Instagram and Twitter at WW Talk Pod. And also check out our website at www.talkpod.com. We have all kinds of amazing articles and interviews on there. And also be sure to watch our show that we have on Fight TV every Wednesday. And
Mhm.
subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already subscribed to that as well. So, with that in
Yeah,
mind,
we stream so we do post shows for Raw at 10 10 or 10:15 on Mondays, and then for SmackDown and Rampage is every Friday at 10 p.m. Central Time,
mhm,
or 10:15 depending on the time, whatnot. So if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and whatnot, it'll always pop up. So yeah, we're here every Friday. Literally every Friday we're here. We're shut indoors here for y'all. Okay. So y'all need to be here with us. Okay.
yes, and when you subscribe on YouTube, be sure to click the bell so you can get all the notifications,
Mm-hmm.
like they say
Yeah.
on
Hit the
YouTube.
bell, like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends.
Definitely. And I will say this though, I will try my level best to be more abreast of AEW stuff because it's like I said, someone in the comments was like, if I'm new to AEW, welcome to pro wrestling. Well, I've been watching wrestling since I was 4. I'm not entirely new to AEW. I hear about it, but I don't watch it as consistently. So I'm trying to watch more wrestling as consistently as I possibly can. So
It's okay, Stephanie. I started AEW
yeah.
last year. Okay. I started
Mhm.
watching AEW last year. I knew
Mhm.
about it. I knew everybody who was there. I just started watching it. So it ain't no welcome to pro wrestling.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah, so with that in mind, thank you guys for joining us and until next time, good night y'all.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet.